Friar Time. This is our special episode on Coffee with the Saint. And today I am very, very privileged to have with us St. Patrick. Hi, St. Patrick, and welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I must say I'm feeling the luck of the Irish, having you sitting right here with me.
Oh yes, the luck of the Irish.
So, what is that supposed to mean? It sounded like you weren't exactly convinced of that. If anyone's lucky, it's got to be you.
Well, David, let me tell you my life story, and then you tell me how lucky I am.
Is that going to be long?
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
And truth be told, I'm about as Irish as Robert De Niro.
What? What does that mean?
If my life were a movie, it wouldn't be set in the rolling hills of Ireland, and it wouldn't be played by Colin Farrell. You see, I was actually born in England, and when I was just a boy, I was kidnapped by Irish pirates and brought to Ireland.
What? You're talking about the luck of the Irish and you got kidnapped?
I was a slave in Ireland for 6 years, but in those years I grew closer to God. I spent my days tending sheep, praying constantly, and learning the Irish language and culture. When I finally escaped and made it back to Britain, I didn't just sit around, I became a priest.
Wow. And then you went back to Ireland? That's quite a choice considering you were kidnapped from there.
And that's the thing about faith. It calls you to go beyond your own comfort zone. I had a dream where I heard the Irish people calling me back, so I returned, not as a captive, but as a missionary, bringing the gospel to the Irish people.
Well, that explains the saint part. But let's talk about your feast day, March 17th. Every year here in New York City, and I'm sure in many cities around the world, there was a huge parade, and people wear green and they wave shamrocks, and let's be honest, there's a lot of drinking, and it's not coffee, it's mostly beer. So what are your feelings about all of this in your honor?
Well, it's a celebration not just of me, but of the Irish people.
Uh-huh.
And the shamrock, now that's a symbol I do love. I use these 3 leaves to teach people about the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's simple, it's visual, and it works.
And that's true, that's great. But what about the drinking part?
That would be my old tradition called drowning the shamrock.
Drowning the shamrock.
Drowning the shamrock.
Wow.
One time I noticed an innkeeper skimping on the whiskey, so I declared that everyone should have a proper drink in my name. The idea stuck. Ironically, for a time, drinking on St. Patrick's Day was actually banned in Ireland.
Is that true? Well, it's not banned anymore there, or I'd say most places at all. And I would say millions of shamrocks are drowned every March 17th, probably in a lot of green beer, too.
That's fine, as long as people celebrate responsibly. The truth is, Irish culture is rich with faith, food, literature, music, and resilience.
I love a lot of the Irish music.
And speaking of myths, here's a big one. I never drove snakes out of Ireland.
What? I thought that was like your big thing.
I know, but the truth is, Ireland never had snakes. The cold climate and the ice age kept them away long before I got there. But symbolically, the story works. Snakes often represent evil, and it did help bring Christianity to Ireland. So in a way, I did drive out some bad things to make way for the good news of the gospel.
Well, you know what, St. Patrick? You may not have sent any snakes packing, but in 40 years of preaching, you converted Ireland to Christianity, and that's a bigger miracle than anything else.
I'll raise a glass to that.
I'll raise a glass of coffee to that, too. Since it's still a little early, I'm going to stick to the coffee, and so here's to you.
And here's to you and to everyone watching, and let me leave you with a great Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warmly upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
God bless you and thank you very much. That's beautiful.
Thanks for the coffee, Father David. Strangle fire.
Strangle fire. Thank you for joining us. Friar Time, Coffee with St. Patrick.